when I think about it, for Western role-playing games, what is the competition for this game right now? It's Divinity Original Sin 2, I guess you could say, but I would maybe make the argument that because I haven't played all of Divinity, I've only played a couple hours of it, like maybe 3-4 hours of it. I couldn't really get out of the first beach area, the one that's kind of like the Sword Coast in this game, funny enough. They actually have very similar sort of intros. I've played through that pirate ship intro, though, several times, and I guess I just never really got very good at it, so I was like, I'm not really sure where I should go to progress. I keep on... one time, I joined this underground fighting league, like, really early on, and I was in these arena fights where I was just fighting super out-leveled enemies, and I'm just like, oh, I have no chance. So, like, I guess it just... Divinity just never really got its hooks in me. So while I'll account for that, if I said Divinity, it'd be like, well, that's a poser answer, because I've not really played enough in Divinity. I'm not actually a good example of what I was saying there, that I try not to overstate my experience with a game that I've just dabbled with. And that was sort of my point, because I think a lot of YouTubers, it's one of the guys whose tweets I was responding to earlier today, maybe it was yesterday actually, but his thing, well, hold on, I'll read what it is. I won't say the guy's name because I don't want you to like brigade him or anything, and I don't ever want to be accused of that, because it's never my intention. Baldur's Gate 3 is straight trash. For future reference, if you want to gift me a game, please ask first, that way you don't waste your money. Now, I've been gifted Steam games, everybody. You get a notification that says you've been sent a Steam gift, would you like to accept? And you can decline it. So if he was like, yeah, no, I don't want to play Baldur's Gate 3, you shouldn't have bought that for me, you could have just declined the gift. He accepted the gift. So he was like, yeah, oh god, like I'm gonna play that piece of trash bear game, but accept. Like right off the bat, man, come on. That's kind of a move if you're gonna immediately on the game. And my response was, because he showed his Steam page with the uninstall/cancel thing over it, which is covering up the play hours. So I say, can you hit cancel for a second so we can see those play hours, or are they minutes? They're minutes, aren't they? And then just like the straight face emoji, like, yeah, you didn't play much of the game, did you? And I mean, the answer was he had played 71 minutes, which, and not at the time of me writing my tweet, not gotten the achievement that you get when you finish the tutorial. So he didn't really play it. He just fiddled around with the character creator, I guess, and then uninstalled it. So, and that's like, I mean, I'm not saying like, oh yeah, you need to love this game. There's no way you possibly can't love this game. There's a lot of people that are not going to like this game at all, because it's a turn-based role-playing game that involves a lot of thought on the player's part, just like playing Dungeons and Dragons does. I mean, I've not extensively played Dungeons and Dragons, but the only way I was really able to at all is when I was playing D&D with like the Geeks and Gamers people. Most of the heavy lifting was being done by Erudai, the guy who was DMing. He was doing all the roles and stuff kind of for us, so we didn't really have to do a whole lot. And I was almost the worst. It was almost, I didn't learn how to use the website, how to do anything really at all for a long time. And I am not making excuses for that. I probably should have gotten a lot better at using that program when I did. But I guess I kind of felt like my role on that show was as the, I don't know, I was basically just playing myself. Like I was just an aloof kind of stoner dude who was also a ranger, a half-elf dude with a magic leg. Like was kind of more like me, I suppose. More self-insert than even this guy is, whose name is just Marc. But yeah, CRPGs though, the alter ego for me that Erudai made for me, he did most of the actual game mechanic end of it. So it would kind of be like if someone was telling me while I was playing this right now, because I'd say that, especially now, I've gotten pretty good with the controller controls, even with the standard configuration that, hold on one sec, can we remap it yet? Still no ability to map your controller, man. I don't understand. Larian, like, how is that a tough one? Like, for all the good this game is, like, that, there's not really an excuse for that. Like, it's crazy that this is the most console like controller options, man. It's just like, yeah, control scheme A, B, or C, or is it just mappable? Control scheme. Okay, so can I even just swap the triggers for the the bumper buttons, because I'm hitting these all the time in this game, and I hit these rarely, and I think that those should be switched on a console controller. If you're thinking of it like left click, right click, that's incorrect. You should have done it differently, or I don't know. I'm not even sure what they were thinking. But hey, Larian, if you want some free Marc the Cyborg consultation, there you go. Add customizable controls to the gamepad options, which, I mean, really, not asking all that much.